He looks like he owns credit. Oh my gosh. Man like Arthur from Batman.
Dzień dobry. Assalamu alaikum. Ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10. Ken Hume here, talking to you from James Alexander Estate Agents. Proud owner of a little estate agency business here in Southwest London, Southwest 16 Norbury to be precise, where we sell, let, manage houses and give you the latest of what's going on. Now, we've got some interesting zones coming up. I mentioned yesterday about these school zones where they're restricting roads at school time. It's an interesting one because it will make a sea change for residents of those roads. Imagine if you're on a road where every day the kids are at school at 9 o'clock and it's a nightmare, at 4 o'clock it's a nightmare, and the roads are tight and everybody's fighting. And then all of a sudden, no traffic's allowed and your road becomes silent and a thing of beauty. Can you imagine the difference? So really, I'm intrigued to see how that will affect house prices in those areas. The other area that will be severely affected will be main roads in the future with electric cars and no noise coming from diesel and petrol engines. Can you imagine the difference of a busy road now and in the future when it's purely electric or mostly electric? It'd be massive, won't it? So those on busy roads, it could be good news for you ahead. A few bits of news to report to you today as well. 1 in 3 over 65s are relying on inheritance to fund their retirement. Can you imagine actually waiting for a relative to pass so that you can inherit it, so that you can fulfill your plans? It's a bit sad, really, isn't it? There we are. A crisis ahead for landlords as rising costs hit renters. Of course, this is the fact that most people coming off standard variables now, their costs are tripling, as we've spoken about before. And they're saying it's almost a perfect storm for tenants where they've already got huge fuel bills and a crisis there. And on top of that now, landlords are having no choice but to put up rents because their mortgage costs are going up so severely that even where they want to be kind, it's a situation where they have no choice but to kind of, put the rents up just to cover their own costs. So that's going to be a challenge for the year ahead for sure. A survey suggests half of private renters suffer cold, damp or mouldy homes. Well, there are plenty of private homes that also suffer from all three of those things. It's not just tenants. And, I appreciate that it's particularly tougher for those at the bottom of the pile. Of course it is, and we do totally respect that. But by the same token, it's not just private renters that suffer from these problems. Damp and mold is a problem in the winter for all houses if you don't know how to address it or what the problem is. And quite often there are some quite easy fixes you can do, such as not drying clothes in the room where the mold problem is, opening windows, getting cross ventilation by opening windows at the front and back of properties. The hard one to do, of course, today is to get an even heating throughout the day because, of course, nobody wants to pay what they don't have to pay in heating bills. But yeah, apart from that, nearly 1 in 10 London homes are now worth over £1 million. It's an extraordinary statistic, that, isn't it? It just goes to show how property prices have moved on. And that's inflation for you. It does make things more expensive, including housing. But the other thing it does is it downs the value of debt so that as inflation goes up relative to your earnings, the value of your mortgage goes down. This is not helpful while interest rates are going up, of course, but when interest rates hopefully stabilise, then, it could be better news. As far as the market's concerned, it's a great time of year. And it's Show Tuesday today. It's actually Pancake Day. So get ready for that. Get your lemon juice and your sugar out and get flipping. And apart from that, busy day on valuations as always. If you're thinking of what you're doing this spring, and a lot of people are thinking the same way, should I move, should I not? Why not call us around for a chat anyway and we decide whether it's a good time for you to move or not. Happy to do that, and there's never any obligation attached to our valuations. So, if you just want to chat, you're not sure, happy to come and help. And lots of probate valuations coming in as well. There's always the death, divorce, and debt, 3Ds we call them, and that's something that's always constant turnover in the UK market. And they're all sad and frustrating for the individuals involved, but they are a line of supply of property, which is, one of the things that we're struggling with at the moment is not enough people selling. And this will be a constant theme throughout the year, I think. We'll have a lack of stock available and this will underpin prices. As far as interest rates are concerned, I still think, contrary to popular belief, that interest rates are going to come down dramatically. They're going to stay at where they are or around that level. They may go up a little bit until the end of the year and they may start to stabilize and come down off that. I know we've seen a bit of a fall in the fixed rates, the longer term fixed rates, but I think we're probably at a plateau on that too now. So what I suspect will happen is lots of people are expecting interest rates to fall off quite rapidly and go back into the nirvana that was that kind of 1% range. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. So if your plans are based around interest rates falling rapidly, I think you should reassess them. Not financial advice, but that's our gut feeling as far as the market's concerned. So that's it for today. Hope you have a fantastic day. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition. Till then, look after yourselves. And if you can, your family and friends. Ciao.